What's going on? Back at Dave the Confused. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Dave the Bomb, your headmaster of horror. Let's get it going. First of all, I just want to say sorry for the absence right now. My family's life got a little crazy there for a minute and I had to take a little bit of time off, but I'm back now, hopefully on a much more regular schedule to bring you more creepy, paranormal, weird content that you usually see on this channel. I just want to take a quick second and ask you to go check out Unhollowed Threads. So I came across this brand with some mutual friends on Twitch, and they have some unbelievable clothing, and I actually won a contest on Twitter and won this shirt. And I chose this one because, as you know, my son is obsessed with Halloween and jack-o'-lanterns, so I figured it was the right fit for me. But it was a pretty hard choice because they have some crazy awesome designs, so please go check them out. The information is in the description of the video. You won't be sorry. So this is a really awesome creepypasta that a bunch of people have asked me to check out, and it's called The Slit-Mouthed Woman. I've heard variations of this story, things like the Black Dahlia murder and all that, where a woman was found with essentially the smile from ear to ear carved into her face. But this was a really, really cool creepypasta, and I'm stoked to cover it, and let's go. So this story actually dates back to ancient Japan, where there was this samurai that was known for being extremely vicious and mean and showing no pity or empathy for anybody. And he was married to a very beautiful woman. Now, this woman was caring and loving and just an overall amazing person. And because she was so loved and adored by basically everyone she met, this caused a lot of jealousy and anger from that samurai. And one night he just snapped, and using an ancient samurai blade, he carved her face up in a very aggressive, terrible way, putting the blade in her mouth and giving her a permanent smile basically from ear to ear. This essentially enraged the woman so much during her death that her spirit now haunts certain sections of Japan. Now this is where things get a little crazy, because I've read two different stories here. The first story is the ghost haunts younger men, usually a day to a week before their wedding. And she will appear in front of these men, usually on a foggy night, on a dark sidewalk or a deserted road. And the ghost would ask the young man, "If you think I'm beautiful." The weird thing is she's always covering up her face, either with some sort of a surgical mask or a bandana or something. Only her eyes would be visible when she asks the initial question. And depending on their answer, she would remove her mask, showing her disfigured face, and would ask again, "Do you still think I'm beautiful?" And essentially, depending on the answer that is given, whether she would essentially kill that man or she would just scar him forever in the same permanent smile that she was given previously. The second story was that this ghost of the woman who essentially wanted children so bad now haunts children because of their honesty. And everyone knows kids, if you ask a kid a question, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be completely honest with you. So when she removes her mask and asks a child, "Am I pretty with these scars?" the child will probably say no. And that's when this ghost would strike, usually taking the life of the child. But here's where things get really interesting. Apparently there are ways to survive and not be disfigured in this situation. One of which is always carry around a hard amber candy. So when she appears and asks you for the second time, "Do you believe I'm beautiful?" you say yes, and you offer her the amber candy. She would accept the candy and leave you alone, and she would actually leave your descendants alone as well. The other way apparently is when she asks you for the second time, do you believe I am beautiful even with these scars? You say, well, do you believe I am beautiful? And you switch the question on her. And that essentially enrages her, and she will vanish never to be seen again by you or your descendants. Everyone who said that they have seen her show very similar characteristics, as she's always wearing a mask on the bottom half of her face. Her hair is always slicked back in almost like a dark grease that's holding it down. Her clothes are usually very well kept and very professional looking, and she's always carrying around a long, sharp pair of scissors, which essentially is her main weapon of choice. People think that the reason she uses scissors is she was probably some sort of seamstress or clothing maker or some sort of, something to do with scissors in her previous life, as in a tool of the trade. There are a lot of stories more so based in North America. Like I said, the Black Dahlia murder was something similar with the disfiguration of the face. The slit-mouthed woman is a worldwide story, a legend, if you will, and there are lots of interpretations to it. So there's so much artwork and like pictures and articles and everything online about it. They even did a little rendition of this type of stuff in the comic books, with Heath Ledger's Joker being really scarred and telling that story where his father put a knife in his mouth and scarred up his face as a child. So like I said, this story is kind of everywhere, and it's very popular and it's very used, and I really enjoy it. So thank you to everyone who mentioned this creepypasta to me to cover. If there's another creepypasta you want me to check out, please put it in the description below. I would love to make a video on it. Also, if you have a scary story or a ghost story that you want to be covered on the channel and you want me to read out in a video, please leave it in the description below. Please check out our merch on Teespring, and like I said, go check these guys out. The description is in the little box below with all the information. Go check it out. Well, I'm Dave. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. This is Dave the Confused, and at least our dogs aren't werewolves. Peace.